And chaos, confusion, and police rushing in to remove people from a suburban Dalton building.
This all happened last night after a majority of trustees voted for Chicago's former mayor Lori Lightfoot to continue her investigation of Dalton's current mayor, Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Regina Waldroup has more on what happens next.
Dalton's Village Hall.
Hello. Nobody's gonna be heard if you keep talking.
A hotbed of activity Monday night with a village board meeting that went off course. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was there.
Okay, nobody gonna speak. We gonna clear the room in a minute.
Briefly addressing residents before her mic was shut off.
Okay. Even though they turned the mics off, we will continue working on behalf of the residents of Dalton, and we will give you the facts that you deserve.
Why would we pay anybody any money if y'all have the actual people, meaning the FBI's here? So why would we waste money?
Before the meeting was stopped, a majority of trustees voted to override a recent veto by the mayor, allowing Lightfoot to continue her investigation into Tiffany Henyard, who's accused of misspending and also at the center of a number of lawsuits and a wide-ranging federal probe. Lightfoot in a statement writing, "I look forward to the work ahead and urge Mayor Henyard and her administration to fully cooperate with this investigation by promptly providing the requested documentation to give all concerned a complete and accurate accounting of the fiscal conditions for the village." During public comment, residents had a lot to say about the village's finances, investigations, and the fact that barricades were put up around Village Hall before the meeting.
I think it's so horrible that this mayor will use her police department to block all the parking spaces so the elderly and the handicapped people have to walk a block to get to this meeting.
Also happening at that meeting, Mayor Henyard struck down the recent appointment of trustee Jason House as mayor pro tem. The next Dalton Village Board meeting is set for June 17th. Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Regina, you are on the story. We appreciate it.
A heated village meeting in South suburban Dalton tonight that ended with a room clearing after shouting and shoving. Trustees tonight pushed to override Mayor Tiffany Henyard's veto of hiring former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to look into allegations of corruption and reckless spending in Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldroup with the story.
Monday night's meeting ended early with police here and escorting several people out of the building, and Chicago's former mayor prevented from speaking. An action-packed village board meeting. In attendance, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Even though they turned the mics off, we will continue working on behalf of the residents of Dalton.
She tried several times to speak, but her mic was turned off.
Clear the room, guys.
Then things got loud and chaotic. Before the meeting abruptly ended, a majority of trustees voted to override a recent veto by the mayor. It allows Lightfoot to continue her investigation of Tiffany Henyard, who's accused of misspending and also at the center of a number of lawsuits and federal probes.
A lot of residents are curious about the status of the investigation. Has she been moving forward? So she wanted to kind of give an overview and also ask Dalton's mayor to transparently work with the investigation.
Before things got out of hand, residents and trustees had a lot to say about the mayor and finances.
We get treated like dirt.
Can you ask us to make responsible financial decisions on behalf of an entire village when you haven't even presented a budget for moving forward?
Yes, the investigation moves forward.
And Lightfoot has continued to work on this investigation, though she has not been paid at this point, and trustees say it's expected to be completed in 60 days. Reporting from Dalton, I'm Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Regina staying on the story. Thank you. It's Friday night. Welcome. Good evening. I'm Stephen Holt.
And I'm Allison Rosati. We begin with something unexpected. A rescheduled budget hearing brings lots of fireworks in South suburban Thornton Township, where a new budget was approved just a short time ago. Now, residents had lots of questions about spending and the township supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, who's also the mayor of Dalton. Our Regina Waldroup's been on this story from the very beginning. She joins us now live with the latest. Regina.
Allison, I have covered a lot of budget meetings, and this one that just wrapped up a short time ago, anything but boring. There was clapping, shouting, screaming, and then there were police. They were on the ready to escort people out of the meeting.
Reach for yourself. Remove her. Remove her. Remove her. Remove her. Now you gotta go.
This budget meeting, anything but typical.
You have been led astray. You have been bamboozled. You have been hooded. People have told you that you're not listening. In order to hear it.
Thornton Township residents from several south suburban communities filled the room, and they had lots to say.
Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to be homeless behind her raising our taxes.
And you said that you have good business skills, then you should take a look at the budget again.
You are a public servant. You serve us.
Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard is also the mayor of Dalton. She is the focus of a wide-ranging FBI investigation. She's also being sued by several Dalton employees, current and former. Residents say there are concerning issues with the township's spending and other areas of township government.
There are so many red flags.
People are just so tired of this whole situation with the not being transparent. And for Dalton, I can speak for Dalton, we don't know what's going on with our money at all.
Henyard makes $224,000 a year in her township supervisor job. In December, the Board of Trustees passed an ordinance that some called outlandish. It states that if Henyard runs for re-election in 2025 and loses, her successor's salary would drop to only $25,000 a year. But a bill passed in Springfield this week would undo that ordinance and make sure a move like this doesn't happen in the future. And that bill did pass in both houses, and right now all it needs is the signature of the governor. And here's what we still don't know tonight: the total amount of the spending plan that was approved. We're still trying to find that number. I'm live in South Holland tonight. Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Regina, thank you. Budget talks are important. However, they can be boring for some people. But when the person in charge of the budget is at the center of numerous lawsuits and a federal investigation, people pay attention. Such is the case in south suburban Thornton Township. Some residents have raised concerns about the budget, but last night's meeting was suddenly canceled. NBC5's Regina Waldroup is in South Holland with the story and what happens next.
They came and they waited for almost an hour. Then they were told Tuesday night's Thornton Township Board of Trustees meeting was not going to happen.
She walks in and says, "Hey guys, the meeting is canceled. Sorry, we have to postpone it."
On the agenda, the proposed spending plan for the township, which consists of 17 south suburban communities and approximately 185,000 residents.
I got all of my paperwork, collected everything, and I'm sitting here ready.
But the budget is the main thing, the reason why I came. Right. For the budget.
Tony Richardson and many others at the meeting have been calling for more transparency. They were hoping to ask questions about the proposed spending plan. They also say they have concerns about Tiffany Henyard. She's the township supervisor and also the mayor of Dalton. Henyard is the focus of a federal criminal investigation and numerous lawsuits by business owners and employees, current and former.
Plenty of red flags, and I can speak so much on the lawsuits and what it does to us as residents from Dalton to the rest of the Thornton Township.
Everybody is fed up. They've let things get too far.
Christopher Gonzalez is a township trustee.
A lot of lack of communication and just, I hate to say, but incompetent.
Gonzalez says he was told Tuesday's meeting was canceled and rescheduled for Friday afternoon because the board didn't have a quorum.
They were here, they were waiting, they wanted to get their voices heard. It's not right.
We reached out to Tiffany Henyard's administration, but didn't hear back before our story aired.
We just need to get some changes made here as far as just moving forward and getting some transparency, getting some questions answered.
And again, that Board of Trustees meeting will now take place this Friday at 1 o'clock at Thornton Township offices. Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Our thanks to Regina.